you want to talk to us about something?
I'm Quincy County Attorney.
A fellow from Gas Right came and talked to us, and we listened to his proposal. What do you think? Sounds, I don't know if it's the cheapest gas in town.
Well, I did just an average comparison for us for last year, and on an average, buying it from secondary roads was $2.22 is what we paid on an average for the year. You know, I think if you can lock it in and it spikes way up, you're probably okay. But what I didn't like was, what concerned me a little bit is if you don't use your monthly allotted, then you either just lose it or you have to pay the difference.
If it goes the wrong way on you.
You know, I mean, so you'd have to make sure that you're not using it. The thing that I thought might be nice is when they changed the credit card laws around in, you know, in July, and now we all have to have a credit card issued with our name on it to use it, we could just about eliminate that whole credit card thing. Because that's a lot of times what we'll use that for is gas, you know. But
We questioned them some, and there's it seemed like the price is pretty high. And Dean asked Ron to find out what the rack price is out here, because with what he was, his rack price was $263, and we can go to Casey's down here and buy it for $261, and then have a refund of road tax.
But see, well, you can do that with this too, and that's what they explained to me.
263 was without.
That's without road tax. It's 303 with the road tax.
See, he wouldn't quote me anything. He was telling me that, you know, their quoted price, and then you take off the federal tax, because they do that, and then you fill out some form to send in to the state to get a refund on that. And he said he thought he could get me down to $2.22 a gallon.
Well, that isn't what he said today.
But, you know,
Because we asked about the tax differential, and that 263 didn't include any road tax. It was 303 with road tax.
okay. Well, see, I've spoken both with Sheriff Launderville and Buena Vista and Sheriff Harriman and Ida. Both those offices use their services, and they love it.
Okay.
But it's like the sheriff in Buena Vista County told me, he goes, you know, really, they get pretty cheap gas up there because Walmart always is about 10 cents lower than everybody else. Everybody else kind of falls into check, and, you know, but Wade and Ida County, they use it. So far they like it. But
If you had an indicator that you thought it was going to go up on you, and you could lock it in for a year, then that certainly worked to your advantage. But if things are all parallel and prices don't change much, it's expensive.
every month when we get our gas report from secondary roads, we'll go through and we'll figure out average cost per gallon. And there really is, from month to month. You know, it can be quite a dramatic increase from month to month.
Do you know off the top of your head what you're paying?
I could go down and get it right now and bring it up to you if you want. I mean, if you want to know.
Sure.
I'll be right back.
Thank you. Supervisor's office for tax speaking. Yeah. Yeah. We just got it. No one had any road concerns. Did you get a chance to ask about the rack price?
What do you think? It's most recent.
For September, I paid $2.33 a gallon. The highest, I think, is...
Okay. Okay. Well, we had a presentation by a Gas Right deal who does a bunch of forward contracting.
Oh, thank you.
And we were just, he quoted a rack price of $263 today.
When you found it?
That seems pretty high.
You found it? Yes.
So that's why we were inquiring
We're gonna
about
hold a Joe afterwards and see if he
what
wants
you guys
to
were
be
paying.
at our next meeting.
Yeah.
I'll meet with him Thursday,
Okay, thanks.
this Thursday.
He thought they paid $233 or something.
Well, $2.33 was my September billing. $2.39 was my August billing. $232 was my July billing. $212 was my May, April, and March billing.
So when we do that and you buy it out there, we're exempt from taxes right away, and you don't have to. In this situation, we would have to file to get some of that back. The way you.
Right. You know, the other, you know, the only other, and I guess to me it's an advantage, is that if you went to this system, and I'm not saying necessarily.
Oh, excuse me. Supervisor's office.
Well, we've talked,
Yeah.
we've asked Ron if we have any ability to hedge, if we see something coming. And this would, you know, if we don't know any more than the next guy. I mean, the guy that owns this company that trades hogs. Yeah.
Okay, so it'd be 245 then.
But if we did have an inkling that we thought fuel was gonna go up,
So
We could-
secondary roads files to get that back?
we could lock.
But does that 245 include the 18 cents, or that doesn't include the 18 cents?
We should have this guy talk to Ron and Mike.
Yeah.
Do you use your, those
But
personal
when
credit
they
cards
deliver and you're billing Kenny
things
for
besides
$2.33,
when they're going to,
Meals and lodging.
does that include
So you
or
still
not
have to
include
have that
any of
credit
the
card for
road
that?
tax?
Well, now that we went with the per diem thing, you know, they could
You'd think
request
it
the
would.
advanced meal per diem, and you wouldn't have to.
so why did you go away from the county credit?
That's
to a per
the,
diem?
because that makes a huge difference.
Because now each card holder has to have their name on the card. And I didn't want to issue out 22 cards because we have 22 accounts.
No, I was just thinking of the
Yeah.
difference.
Right now Berlin has 8 accounts she needs to keep track of, and it's just a pain.
So the risk of improper use card,
You know, yeah.
we have
Okay.
that liability right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we
So
do.
this wouldn't change.
Well, with this though, my understanding of these gas cards is that it can only be designed for
Well,
gas.
and you're, I mean,
And B,
it's
track of
because
where
you're handling the
time
fuel,
you
it makes
filled
good
up.
sense that you just file it and get it
I
back.
mean, we have a
Bill-
pretty good checks and balances now.
bill the ambulance and the sheriff's
Right.
office,
But
less the tax.
The advantage that I see is that you're spreading your business around throughout the county. Instead of us cutting a check to secondary roads for $2,000 a month, now Casey's in Sac City or Sparky's or Cubby's in Odebo,
Oh,
we
really?
can fill up there with these gas cards, we can fill up anywhere with a gas card. And it's putting money back in, revenue back into the system and
It shouldn't
helping
matter.
businesses a little bit, but
The good thing about that would be that puts your officers in I mean, you can't go in the station without talking with somebody.
Well,
I mean, when they go out,
But
they fill up
in-
out here, they're just looking at a tank.
in this
Or you
instance,
go in the Cubbies.
you don't,
you know,
in some of those
talk to
instances,
Jack
you
or-
could have
you know,
some personal use.
yeah, you know, I think you can use them at the pump though. I
We
mean,
just don't have,
it
ours
have
would
to
all
a
be
conscious effort.
That's
to go
right.
road
around,
usage tax exempt.
That's-
You know,
And if some of those other
That's-
arrangements could
that was
have,
one of the things that
problem
stuck out
that-
to me is, you know,
that
now
it may not all be
our
tax
Odebo
exempt.
people can buy gas in Odebo, our Auburn people can buy gas in Auburn, you know, and we can
No,
always use
that,
the
well, that
county's
too. That-
pump as a backup if we got
Right.
to our, 800 gallons in
Right.
that month. Because I think that's what we figured out would be about, we run about 1,000 gallons of fuel a month.
Right, right. Okay,
But
okay. That sounds good. Thank you.
How many gallons does the county hold store?
I don't know what he's got out there for capacity.
I think there's a 10,000.
It could, I was thinking that.
Do you guys speculate with that at all? Fill it up when prices are lowest, or on contracts?
We don't have a hedging program. We get transport price. I guess we have dollar average.
Which pieces were those?
We kind of buy throughout. I don't think Mike or
They're not gonna have the dirt work done quick enough to do it.
Or this, you know, we've talked around about, you know, if fuel's really low, about locking in 50,000 gallons.
I think I worked for a company that did that. They figured out their annual fuel usage
Not
and
necessarily.
bought that many tanks. And then at the lowest point in the year,
Right.
they
What you-
contract
what they- yeah.
for the lowest and
Oh,
have it
like
all
I
burned
said.
up at once.
Oftentimes I book a lot of fuel.
Well, that was my
in
point.
January.
Yeah.
They
Propane.
were behind on their dirt work.
Propane, we book it a lot of times in May and June. But historically, those are the,
Right. That's what this
and that's why
company
the
does.
trucking company,
Yeah.
they work off. Crude oil is lower today.